Mr. Realty of Abuja. You're welcome to our first walk tour video for 2026, and I'm very sure that you can guess the location where we are at today. This is Katampe Extension, of course. One of the properties I showcased in my last video in Katampe Extension is towards that direction, right? This is the access road. Of course, if we spoke in December, November, December 2025, this road, work was going on this road. As at November, December 2025, there was, a blasting along this road, and it was closed for a while, but right now it is open. It's been open since the beginning of this year. So there's something I want to show you guys on this walk tour. Of course, you already know for all our walk tours, right, there's always a reason for the walk tour. There's always something to learn in our videos. Before I tell you the purpose of this video, I just want to show you this property right here. This is Harmony Hills, right? This is Harmony Hills. And if you visited this location last year, as at November, December last year, this access road right here was not open. I hope the video is doing justice to this particular access road. So this access road right here wasn't open. It was closed, right? Because these guys made a mistake when they were doing their fence, right? I'll try to go close to the fence so that I can show you what I mean. So if you look at this fence, you know that the fence was broken, right? Early this year in January, this fence was broken. So those of my prospects and clients, I told that there's going to be an access road linking to the phase 2 of this property. This is the access road I'm talking about. Probably when we get to that phase 2, I'm going to show you the map of this entire environment, right? So you can see the fence. Let me go close to it again. This fence was broken, right? This fence was broken and a new one was done to give way for this access road. So we have Calton Gate by the right. Over there we have Calton Gate by the right, and then we have Harmony Hills right here. Opposite we have City Views, and then beside we have Ever State phase 1. So we're heading to the phase 2. I want to show you, of course, our usual walk tour videos of what the phase 2 looks like. Not just the phase 2, but the entire environment, the access road leading to the phase 2. The entire environment and the access road leading to the phase 2, like we've always done in our walk tour videos. So this is Katampe Extension. That phase 2 is a very good buy for the phase 2, right? Another reason why I am making this video today is to enlighten some of our Lagos investors. So if you are, used to Lagos real estate rather, the plot sizes we have over there is a bit different from what we have going on here in Abuja. So I want to use this opportunity, as I walk through. So this is the access road. It was created. So I'm going to show you the map, of the access road, the plot numbers on the map and all of that. But that'll be when we get to, the phase 2, and we'll talk extensively about the phase 2. But for now, let's talk about the types of, the land sizes, different land sizes you should expect as a real estate investor, as a real estate buyer, when trying to invest in Abuja. From my observation so far, I've noticed that, plot sizes in Lagos seem to be, bigger than what we have or what is obtainable here in Abuja. And the reason is very simple. Abuja is a very planned city, as well as the estate, right? In estates in Abuja, you have houses, with the same building prototypes. That is the same design. It's a uniform thing going on here. So everything in Abuja has already been pre-planned. There's a master plan for the whole city of Abuja, and it's also rubs off on, you know, the estate development going on here. So you can see how wide the access road is. I don't know if my camera is doing justice to it, but I think so. You can see by my left we have the fence for Harmony Hills. By my right, this is fence for Calton Gate. So on this tour today, I am joined by another seasoned real estate broker here in the city of Abuja. So Miss Hefziba, yeah.
Hello.
So we're going to be touring, we're going to be doing this walk tour together today. And we're going to be showcasing, you know, one of the finest properties, you know, along this corridor. Of course, you've been selling this place for a while now. I've noticed that most of our Lagos investors or Lagos real estate buyers, those of them who are used to buying properties in Lagos, when you tell them some of the land sizes we have here, you know, available land sizes, they seem to be perplexed, like they seem to be surprised. You know, one of the reasons why this topic is quite important is that, you know, Abuja is planned. Abuja is really, really planned, you know. So the fact that Abuja is planned also rubbed off on the estate developments you can find in Abuja. So every estate is already pre-planned. We have already, you know, a layout. We have building designs and building prototypes that everybody is expected to follow, you know, with different land sizes depending on what the developer is offering. Yeah, so it's very important to educate our prospect viewers, you know, on YouTube and other social media platforms on the land sizes we have available here in the city of Abuja. So let me ask you, of course, you've been around for a while. What are some of the land sizes you've noticed, you know, that are very common here in the city of Abuja?
Okay, the thing there is they try as much as possible to make available the prototype for terrace duplexes.
Okay.
That's what gives you the land sizes of 150 square meters,
okay,
the 180 square meters.
Okay.
Then maybe from the even 252 also for terrace duplexes. So maybe from the 350 you can get your semi-detached and fully detached. So you can see prototypes such as 150, 180, 250, 350, 400, 450 and thereabouts.
All right, so I'm going to be, you know, talking more on some of these land sizes and the house, you know, house prototypes, prototypes you have available on these land sizes. Okay. And while that is ongoing, I hope you're enjoying the view. There's so many estate developments along this corridor, honestly. So many estate developments. But of course, for the sake of this video and this walk tour, we're going to be focusing on just one, the phase 2 of, you know, the estate development I showcased sometime last year. Okay. So in Abuja, you would see 150 square meters, like she already mentioned. 150 square meters here would get you, you know, terrace buildings, mostly 3-bedroom terrace buildings.
Yes.
For the sake of those who don't know, terrace buildings are those duplexes you see that seem to be joined together. So they have like a link between all of them, right? They are kind of linked together. So some people call it linked duplex. I've seen people call it linked duplex. Why the common name for it is terrace duplex. So after that, you have the 180 square meters, right?
Yeah.
180 square meters is also for terrace duplexes, right? Then from there, we'll be moving to 200 square meters. I've seen 200 square meters a lot. 200 square meters also for terrace duplexes. But I bet you I've seen some people doing semi-detached with 200 square meters here in Abuja. Yes, I've seen it. In fact, after 200, we have 250 square meters. I
think that's like the most common.
Yes, that's the most common prototype size. The most common prototype size for terrace duplexes here in Abuja is 180, 150, and the 250.
Exactly.
As well as the 200. 200 is not too common, but yeah, we can put it in that category.
Yes.
But can you, if I tell you that I've seen 250 square meter for a fully detached. That's standalone.
How did they get the space for a compound?
Now I'm going to show you something. Just hold the camera.
Okay.
Let me show you something in this video. I'm going to attach this video to this video so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, look at this. This was sometime last year. I showcased this video sometime last year. So bring the camera down. Let me show them something. This is Union Hive Life Camp. It's a very beautiful estate which is currently under development. Of course, you can see behind me here we have one of the prototypes. You can see the prototype on the drone shot, the area view of the house. This is a 4-bedroom, fully detached duplex that's sitting on a 250 square meter of land space. You can see how much these guys maximize the space on this property. Okay, looking at it, you wouldn't even know it's a 250 square meter of land size because the property is massive, really, really beautiful. I love the work these guys are doing here. So that video you just watched is a video of me sometime last year showcasing that building. So you can see that building is sitting on 250 square meter, and you still have space for at least 2 to 3 cars.
Honestly, I was shocked when I saw that video.
So you see, that's why one of the things I love about Abuja Real Estate, apart from the fact that it's properly planned, I hope you're enjoying the view. You can see these guys over there.
Yes.
They are doing some, you know, reclaiming. They are reclaiming some lands over here. This is a very beautiful place. All right. So as we were saying, or as I was saying, one of the things I love about Abuja, apart from the fact that it is properly planned, in fact, this city is one of the most planned cities in Africa. So apart from the fact that it is properly planned, it's the fact that land is precious here. And because it is precious, it is maximized.
Yes.
Do you understand? Land is well taken care of. Land, we don't waste land in this place. That's why currently it's very difficult for you to even get approval for bungalow in the city of Abuja, unless maybe you're doing it in the outskirts, or maybe you want to tweak your bungalow design to look like a duplex. Maybe you have like a penthouse up or something, you know. So I love the fact that the city is planned. I also love the fact that the you know, land is precious here and handled with so much care. So everything here is about maximizing the most, or getting the most out of the property. So the road we just came from now is like a ring road. Yeah. When we get to the site, I'm going to show you a map, you know, explaining the road, networks, you know, the property and all of that. I have a map here, but I'll open it when we get to site so you can see what this place looks like. So this place is like, I don't want to call this place Beverly Hills because I have another location I'm going to tour very soon. I refer to that place as Beverly Hills. So we stick to the name I already give this place. I gave this place Confiscated Luxury. That's why I gave this place.
Honestly, that is a perfect name for this place. Because
you wouldn't even know that anything is going on.
Unless you come.
Yeah, unless you come into this location. So you have some highlands, you have some lowlands. It's a very beautiful scene.
You can even see someone building over there already.
Yeah, and you know, when this place is fully developed, when you're driving, you know, on the roads, it's going to be like, it's going to give you a movie scene. It's going to be like, I don't know how to put it. It's very cinematic. I think that's the word. It's going to look very cinematic when this place is fully developed. So if you have not invested in any property here, reach out to me, let's talk. If you have anywhere between 50 to 100 million naira and above, you can definitely buy even more than one plot in this place, right? Yes. Because the place where we're going to now is quite affordable, very competitive property, and I'm very sure I'm going to see men at work, you know, on site, because this property started in I think sometime around September.
Yeah,
if you watch my previous videos on YouTube, my last 2 videos on YouTube, you see a video where I interviewed the GMD of the company and you know, asked him a few questions about the development. That was sometime in September. That video was later released in, I think, December or thereabout, you know. So you can see that the growth on the property is rapid, and that's why the price has appreciated over time. Yes. So we're heading there now. While we're doing that, let me go ahead to continue what's it called? To continue some of the land sizes you should expect while buying properties here in the city of Abuja. So we stopped at 250, right?
Yeah.
And I told you that I have seen I've seen some developers doing fully detached on 250 square meters, very feasible. So we have I've seen 300 square meters.
Yes.
So from anywhere from 300 square meters, that's where you start expecting, fully detached buildings, semi-detached buildings, right?
Yeah.
So we have 300, we have 350 square meters for fully detached buildings. We have 450 square meters fully detached. We have 400 as well, fully detached. We have, I've seen 480. I've seen 220 as well. I think Harmony Hills have 220. I think Harmony Hills have 220 and it's for semi-detached. So what's the difference between 200 and 220? So you can see, or even 250. So from 250 thereabout, you should start expecting semi-detached buildings.
Yes.
Even fully detached buildings like you saw on the video I showed you a while ago. So like I said, this road is like a ring road, and I'll show you the map when we get to the site. We're very close to the site now, the phase 2 of this project. Like I said in my last walk tour video, one of the reasons why land is a little bit on the high side in this environment is because of the infrastructure. Oh God.
Yes.
Developers are spending shitload of money to bring this place up to speed. And as we do these walk tours, you can see what the environment looks like. They're breaking rocks, blasting rocks, recovering lands and doing a whole lot of work. You can bury, in this location, you can bury 500 million in the ground and it doesn't even look like you've done anything.
Honestly, it wouldn't even show.
So because of the terrain of the place. All right, so, but the good thing is that you have no business with all of that.
Yes.
Once you buy your property, when we move to site and do our physical allocation, your plot is, even as we speak in the phase 1, some people have already started developing.
Yes.
Because that place already got, a building approval sometime in September last year, So, yeah, let's go ahead with what we're doing. So after 450 square meters, I've seen 480, then you're looking at 500 square meters. I think that is, the standard plot for fully detached buildings,
yes,
right here in the city of Abuja. In the layman's language, 500 square meter is more than standard plot size for most places in Nigeria. I think standard plot size in the layman's language would be what they call 100 by 50. Right?
Yes.
And 100 by 50 is around 450 square meters.
Yeah.
So you have 50 square meters extra. So 500 square meters is actually more than a plot, standard plot size for most places in Nigeria, right? So after 500, I've seen 550, I've seen 580, then you have 600 square meters. That's when you start hearing fully detached villas and all of that. Then you have 700 square meters, 750 square meters. Most times the 700 and 750 square meters is, we're approaching the phase 2 now. I can even see the billboard from here. So most times the 700 and 750 square meters is usually for block of flats,
yes,
right? What you call, let's say, block of apartment. So you can have 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartment in a block, right? So people do that for investment purposes. They buy such lands and build it, develop it for investment purposes. Those who want to do short-let rentals and all of that, perfect fit for it. And also those who may not have enough capacity to buy into fully detached buildings, for developers who offer off-plan apartments. So you see people buying into the 1-bedroom, the 2-bedroom and the 3-bedroom apartment, either for investment purposes or for personal use. Any which way, it makes a lot of sense. Then you also have 750 square meters, you have 800 square meters. You hardly see 900, but from 800 you're going to be getting 1,000 square meters. Yes. So the 1,000 square meters, you can decide to do 3 units of terraces for investment purposes. You can decide to do, the block of flats we talked about, 1, 2, 3 bedroom apartment, as the case may be. Then you can also decide to do a fully detached villa. That one is giving you more privacy, more space, more room to play around with, and all of that. So it's a very lovely development style in Abuja. Unlike Lagos, where sometimes you go in, you enter an estate and you can see different types of buildings within an estate. It's very rare to see something like that here in the city of Abuja.
Very.
When you see something like that in Abuja, it's usually what I would say very exclusive development. I'll call it exclusive development because I've seen such things here in Abuja where you have different prototype designs in the estate. Yeah, so it's usually one design is unique to one building. So you have what we call bespoke designs, where you have one design that is unique to just one building. So that's how it works in Abuja. If you're not getting that kind of exclusive, development here in the city of Abuja, then you're getting, what we have, that is the standard, one prototype for one type or one land size. For example, the 180 square meters will build the same thing. The 500 square meters will build the same thing. The 250 square meters will build the same thing on their plots. So that's how planned the city of Abuja is. Now that we're done with that and we're approaching the estate development where we're heading to, I can already see the fence from here. Wow. Now that we're approaching that, I want to say something very important. Let's give way to this truck. There's an incoming truck and I have to give way for it. When it passes, then this is what we experience in our walk through or walk tour videos.
Exactly.
And that shows you that the location is actually lively and things are going on there.
Yeah.
Right? So with all of this, you know that you're not just buying into a place where nothing is happening. So before I talk a bit about this location, there's something I want to say. When you reach out to me, right, one of the foremost questions I'll ask you is, why are you buying? The reason why you're buying a property is paramount to the decision you make, whether or not you're going to go ahead with it, whether or not you're going to invest all the money you plan to invest in it. So it's good for you to talk to a real estate broker that can guide you around it. The reason I'm saying this is because there's a woman that reached out to me in January this year from Canada. So she told me that when we were talking, I asked her why she's buying. She said she's buying it because her child is, the child will be graduating from high school this year. So by the time not this year, I think she mentioned the year, I can't remember. So the child will be graduating from high school in a couple of years, I think 2-3 years from now. And she's buying the property now so that she can hold it and then sell it when it appreciates 2-3 years from now, and then use that money to fund her child's tuition in Canada. That's a very good purpose for buying a property. So when she told me, we discussed the possible, return on investment for the place, and she went ahead with it. Someone also told me, I think that was in December last year, someone reached out from Texas, and when we were talking, I realized that he said he has invested a lot of money in money market, and he wanted to, do real estate, and he saw my video and then he reached out and he wanted to just keep that money there and then keep flipping it. So the reason you're buying is very important. I've spoken to somebody, I think it was in December last year, also that one too is from Canada. He said the reason he's buying is because he's looking at relocating his family in the next 5 years, and then he feels like this place is a good location. So I advised him to go ahead and buy it. Okay, he reached out to me with a particular location in mind. So after we finished doing the projections together, we came to an agreement that place will not develop even in the next 4 years. It won't be ready for, there's a difference between, buy and build and a location that is livable. You may start your building project now to finish it maybe next year or next 2 years, but the place may not be livable at the time. So that was the case of that particular location I'm not going to mention. So I later advised him to buy somewhere else, which he did, for the purpose of relocating and bringing his family down here. So we already know that when the time comes, he's going to start developing that place for that purpose. So the reason why you're buying is very important, and that's why it's good for you to talk to a real estate broker, that is experienced and that has skin in the game, and that can give you or point you to the right direction, give you the right advice and tell you what to do. All right. So that's that. Now, in this location, I'm going to do a subsequent video talking to us about title documents, the different types of title documents you have obtainable here in the city of Abuja. But there's something really important. We are approaching the property now. Please hold this. So if you, don't worry, bring it. So right there is where the property starts from. You can see these two beacons here for the road, right? So the property starts from here inside. So we're approaching the property. But there's something I really want to talk about, and that is, you know, the reason why some properties are more expensive than other properties, even in the same location. I don't know if I should, you know, incorporate that in another video. Maybe when I'll be talking about the title document, I'll talk extensively about that, but we'll just chip it in a little bit. Hence, we're already, you know, we're already here in, you know, this development. So I hope you enjoyed the 360 view, the angles we showed you in this video. So I'm going to go and film these guys out. I told you that I'm definitely going to meet people working here, because this place, since we launched this property, we've not rested. People are always here working day and night. So you can see excavation to continue the fencing is ongoing. As at December, when I came here in December, there was nothing like this ongoing. So you can see excavation is ongoing.
Well done.
Well done. Continuous excavation is ongoing for the fencing.
Yeah.
And I like the quality of fence I'm seeing in this place. I like the quality of fence I'm seeing in this place. Beautiful. So I'm just going to take you through this place so you can see. I'm very sure that these spaces you're seeing is for casting. These spaces you're seeing here, I'm very sure that it's for casting. You can see these spaces in between. You know, beautiful work ongoing here. Beautiful work ongoing here. So before we begin to talk about, well done. So before we begin to talk about the available land sizes, right, and prototypes we have here, let me just run through some of the reasons why a property can be located in the same place, but one is more expensive. The first reason I have here is, I'm going to start with the not so obvious reasons, and then we'll move ahead. I hope you can see this fencing ongoing here. Beautiful work, beautiful. Solid structure coming up.
This is the reason for the spaces in between.
Yeah, this is for casting, like I said. It's going to be casted. All right, so the first not so obvious reason is market entry. For example, if a property, you know, enters the market before another property, it is normal that over time, right, the property that entered the market first, you know, becomes more expensive because it gains more value over time. You know, development, you know, gets into that property first before, you know, the ones that came in later. So that's why you have city view in this place, you know, which is much more expensive because, you know, they gained market entry earlier than other, you know, properties around this corridor. So another one is, you know, branding, perceived value. These are not some of the not so obvious reasons. One of the obvious reasons, of course, is title document, but we're not getting to that yet, right? So these are some of the not so obvious reasons. We have branding, perceived value. People don't know that when you're buying from a developer that is already well known, of course, the properties will be expensive because you're not just buying, or costly, because you're not just buying the property, you're also buying into a brand identity. So we have demand. This demand, we can also tie it with the market entry, right? Then we have positioning. You know, when we came into this location from the entrance, those properties that are located along the entrance of this location are obviously more costly, or they cost more than the ones inside, because development is happening here in phases. So of course, if you're well positioned and you're positioned along, you know, obvious infrastructure, it makes, or it gives room for, you know, more bargain, so you ask for more in the market. So that is a not so obvious reason as well. So we have the developer also stroke estate infrastructure. So the amenities in this estate may be quite different from what we have in another estate. So it will cost us more to realize our promises over here than other ones. So these are some of the not so obvious reasons. Then we have that of title document. I'm going to talk extensively about this particular topic in another video, but I just wanted to chip it in, like I said, in my in this video. So now let's walk into this property proper. This is where the gatehouse should be located. So let's walk into this property proper. Before we talk about the prices, I think we should show them that map. Okay. Before we talk about the prices. So here you go with the map. So the map we have right here is a map of this particular location, So we came in through, where did we come in from? Yes, this is it. So we came in through this place. Please hold it like this. Okay. So we came in through this place, right? I don't know if you can see it. Probably when you reach out to me and you're an interested prospect, definitely I'll show you some of these things. So we came in through this place, right? This is where we came in through. This is the entrance of this particular location. Then this red mark you're seeing here, plot 50, is the phase 1. So you're coming in through this place and then you're going and then you get to this place. This is plot 50. Opposite plot 50 is Harmony Hills. Then beside Harmony Hills is the road, the new access road that was just created. Okay. So I told you it's like a ring road. I don't know if this camera is doing justice to it, but I hope so. It's like a bend, right? Before you then access plot 278, which is the phase 2 where we are at right now. Okay. So this map is a general map of this whole location. I just wanted to, showcase it in this video. All right, that's that for that. Now going forward into the property, you can see the fencing is ongoing here. If you check my YouTube previous videos, I showcased this property when we were just doing cutting and balancing. Now we've gotten to the point where, we're still doing that, and we are now doing the fencing. Of course, subsequently, gatehouse will start, and these are some of the reasons why, property price keeps going up. Now, what are some of the prototypes we have in this estate? So you go ahead and tell us that. Okay,
we have a variety of options.
Please lead the way. Okay, go ahead. Okay,
so we have a variety of options ranging from the 180 square meter, like we mentioned earlier, the 350 square meter, the 400 square meter, the 500 square meter, and the 750 square meters.
Okay, perfect. One reason I love this estate is because it's a mini estate. This is just about 10 hectares, right? It's a mini estate, very exclusive. Unlike some other estates where you have 100 and something hectares, it's going to be crowded. But that's not to say that those other developments are not good. Of course they are good, but I've spoken to a lot of clients and prospects who have told me that they prefer something small, something mini, something private and exclusive. So yeah, and it also means that lands here are going to sell out faster and you can flip easily in this place. So the 180 square meter, what prototype do we have there?
Okay, we have a 3-bedroom terrace duplex.
Okay.
For the 180 square meter with an attached BQ, of course.
Okay, then the 350, no, the second one is what?
350 square meters.
Okay.
That's for a fully detached, 4-bedroom, fully detached duplex.
Okay.
With also an attached BQ.
Okay, then the next one?
The next one is, honestly, climbing this place is not easy.
That's what we go through when we do walk tours like this, but it's fine. All right, go ahead.
Okay, for the 400 square meter, we have a 5-bedroom fully detached with an attached BQ.
Okay. Then we have the 500 square meter, which is of course
6-bedroom
fully detached, and the 700 square meter is 750 square meter is for the block of flats, yes, like we earlier discussed. That's 6 units of I think 2-bedroom or so. So in this estate we have some commercial spaces as well. I think like school, church, some green areas and all of that. So if you're interested in buying into some of these commercial spaces for business purposes, you can as well reach out. So I'm just giving you a view of the land, the property. You can see some beacons, on here. I don't know whether these beacons are for the road or they are people's property. not sure. Yeah, but this place is a very good buy. The land is a little bit elevated, but not as elevated as the phase 1. Yeah, so it's a good buy right here in Katampe Extension. Title document is FCDA CFO and everything checks, right? Just as we promised, I'm going to give an update of the phase 1 probably in subsequent videos, right? So if you're interested in buying into this project, do reach out to me so we can have a conversation along the lines of taking you for site inspection and of course gladly concluding a deal with you. It's the Realty of Abuja till I come your way again.